boleh baca ini sampai ke sini.
Baca.
Iya, dibaca dari sini sampai ke sini.
Sambil
Di depan kamera di sini. Nanti direkam.
oh oke. Tapi ini sebelum mulai sesinya kan maksudnya?
Sebelum mulai sesi. Sekarang.
Oke. Nanti soalnya gantian mas.
Gantian.
Oke, lanjut. Langsung nih mas. Ini langsung dibaca aja. Baca aja. Okay, my name is Irfan. The title of my talk is From Sentiment Analysis to Intelligent Chatbot, Crafting a Unified AI Framework. I hereby agree to abide by the Pycon APAC Code of Conduct and consent to being recorded and streamed. Okay. No,
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Python APAC 2024 for the third session hosted here at Dato' Ulama University. My name is Izal Robi and I will be your moderator for this session. It is my pleasure to introduce our speaker for today's event, Mr. Irfan Abdurrahman and Mr. Kadetio Purnomo. Mr. Director of Engineering at Jublia and Mr. Kadetio Purnomo is engineer at Jublia. Today we are fortunate to have them here at Python APAC, where they will be sharing insight from sentiment analysis to intelligent chatbot, crafting a unified AI framework. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Irfan Abdurrahman and Mr. Kadetio Purnomo. Without delay ado, please, the stage is yours.
All right. Okay, welcome everyone. I hope that we all are doing well today. I hope you had a nice lunch, but I also hope that you are not sleepy yet after having a nice lunch, okay? So let's begin with our sharing session for today, I would say. For today's topic is going to be From Sentiment Analysis to Intelligent Chatbots, Crafting a Unified AI Framework. So there are two keywords over here. The first one is a unified, and second one is a framework, right? So, but before we begin, let us introduce again about ourselves. So yeah, my name is Irfan, and I'm the Director of Engineering in Jublia. And here with me is...
Hello, my name is Kaka, and I'm the backend engineer in Jublia.
All right. Okay, so maybe to get you understand better about the problem that we are trying to solve, or like the solution that we're trying to provide, let me just quickly, briefly introduce about our company itself. So basically, Jublia is a event engagement hub, right? So our company provides a solution to an event organizer to manage better their event, as well as to help the event attendees to create meaningful connections. So maybe just to make it even more simpler, by show of hands, who here have downloaded the Pycon application, the mobile app? You have it? Anyone installed the app already? Okay, then if not, I would suggest you to install the app, because that's actually one of our solutions. We are the provider of the app itself. But yeah, next. Okay, so also after more understanding about the solutions that we are trying to provide, right? And I would like to get you to know about our journey scoping down into the AI itself, right? So we begin with, firstly, we have a RefRank. So RefRank is basically a recommendation engine. So this is an engine that powering up, like how people are generated the recommendations based on their interests, based on their activities, and so on and so forth. And then we continue our journey into the AI maps, this is a application of a TensorFlow to basically create a floor plan in an event. So maybe if you downloaded the app, I believe you can access it as well. In the application, you can see the floor plan where, it's interactive. You can choose starting point, you can choose the finishing point, and it will provide you with the route itself. So we are utilizing TensorFlow to detect the booth, to also like provide the path itself, right? And our most recent journey in the AI itself is, of course, generative AI, because Gen AI is one of the hot topics that also like everyone in our industry are talking about nowadays, right? And what this will be, yeah, this is what we are going to discuss a bit more, right? Next. Okay, so but before we begin with like explaining more about how the generative AI are put into practice, I would like to share with you guys that this is our thought process when we are designing our the implementation of AI itself. So what we're trying to achieve here is basically AI, but at scale. So generative AI at scale, which is going to produce a framework instead of only a tools, right? So we're trying to first by setting our goal. So our AI manifesto itself it basically governs our users' collective efficiency and productivity through collaborative intelligence. Maybe collaborative is something that we need to emphasize over here because basically like collaboration between the different systems in the AI system itself is going to make an impact. And then secondly, we also are trying to identify who is the stakeholders, who are the users of our framework. Now we are already talking about the framework itself. It's not only generative AI as a tool, but as a framework, right? So our target roles is basically the product teams as well as the QA function. Now you might wonder why is it not the end users that not only the end users that is going to be the user or the user of our framework itself, but actually the product team, right? Later, we'll discuss about that a bit more. And then, of course, after setting the first two steps of the journey itself, we need also to build our toolbox. We are gathering set of tools that we can, use, we can utilize to create the framework in the first place. Later, the system design architecture is going to be revealed in the next couple of slides. But before that, the last step that we want to do is basically to delivering the framework itself. Right? So we want to package it in such a way that our user, the user of this framework itself, is going to have a better relation. Is going to have better relevancy with the framework itself. So we're trying to name our AI and adding an appropriate logo as well. After that, we need to also conduct a training sessions for our team that is the user of this framework. Right? Next. Now, introducing about framework itself, after we've gone through the 4 steps that I mentioned previously, setting the goals, and then identifying the stakeholders, and then setting up architecture, the toolbox, and then package it, right? Please introduce our framework itself, which is Judy AI. Next.
Okay, thank you. So now I will be explaining how we implement Judy AI to fit with our products, right? Because this presentation today is about LLMs or RAG applications in the real business situation, okay? So we as Jubilee, we have a lot of products. We have a lot of different products, you see. This is just a few. We have a lot more products than that I listed here, right? But we tailor Judy AI. We make it, we design it, so Judy AI is a hub, right? We make it as an independent services so that all of our products, all of our entities, all of our services within the companies can benefit from Judy AI. Even our engineers too. We can benefit from Judy AI by doing exploration stuff, innovating stuff, and play around with the Judy AI. So this is just a few of the example. One of our products that benefits from Judy AI. We got the matchmaking, and then we got the productivity tools, content management, analytics, communication, and event setup. So we got a lot of products that could benefit from Judy AI. To make you understand a little bit better about this, I will take one example in the communication and support products, or this is our service, one of our flow, how we interact with our end user itself. Okay. This is how our original communication and support workflow. You can see it from the diagram here, to my left and my right. That we have 3 entities. We have the knowledge entities, the team entities, and then the user entities, right? So originally we have the knowledge one, which is the FAQs. FAQs. We have different FAQs here. The top one was our company FAQ. We have our SOP. We have our own product tutorial and everything else. And then we also have event-specific FAQs, right? Because we have a lot of clients, we have a lot of events, we have a different set of FAQs for it. Like Pycon FAQ must be different from a Taylor events, right? Taylor Swift concert may have different FAQ, different ticketing, different seating, different agenda. A music festival, a car expo, different thing. Pitching thing like with the investor and then startups events is a different. So each of those events will have their own FAQ and then combined with our company FAQ or product FAQ. And then we have the team. This team, the member of our team will be handling a lot of different users, right? Those who involve in our events, those who involve with our stakeholders. Let's see that the thing is, each of our team members will be responsible to a certain set of events and handling a certain sets of customer. They will be answering the same questions again and again. You understand the drill? To make it simple, to make it easy for our customer to handling all of those inquiries. So next, now we introduced GDI in the middle of it. The thing is, we want to help our team. We are not replacing our team because we still need the human aspect of the work, the personal things, handling feelings, handling more escalated situation and everything else. But what we can do is like we make their life easier by putting GDI in the middle of it. So what we do is we transform all of those FAQs, the event FAQs, the Jubilee FAQs into our vector database and then use GDI so that it could give a clear answer to the users, right? Just a simple RG model, but specific knowledge. We only put the specific knowledge into our GDI. So when you're in a Pycon, our GDI can only answer questions about Pycon. If you ask the questions about Taylor Swift concert or like music festival, they wouldn't know. GDI wouldn't know. Okay, so this is a simple example. Next, this is how we kind of structure our GDI in the more technical way. So in the back side, we use the GPT-4 as our LLM models, and then we make use of LangChain and then Llama Index for our data ingestion and then the prompting stuff. And we use it as a service, a standalone service, by using the FastAI as the main framework for the endpoints. Okay. Next, how GDI will be helpful throughout the events. Now, to understand this, let's understand the phases of events first. So in an event, we have 3 different phases: the pre-events, the during events, the after events. So the pre-events, imagine like this: when the tickets are being sold, when the invitation are being sent, the poster is created, the social media has been posted, everything else until the first attendee come to the event on the first day. This is the pre-event stage. And during event, it's like right now, all of you attending the events, right? From Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's the during event phases. And then the after event. This is sometimes get overlooked because the job is not done. Even after the event is done, when you all go home, the organizer go home, the event, the job is not done. There's still like things to be done here. Mainly the analytics, the retrospective, the evaluation of the event. This can be done like the first day after the event, the next week, or maybe next month, or even throughout the year until the next event itself, right? So these are the 3 phases of the event. Now next, on the pre-event stage, how GDI can help? So we empower organizers to set up their agenda by enabling them to generate summary powered by GDI. So if you notice on our app, the agenda, the session, the speakers have like detailed description on it, right? When you click on the card itself. Now we can summarize it and then put it on the list of the cards. So just make it our user understand it at glance. The organizer can choose to do so, or like to write it manually, or the organizer can choose to use UDI to summarize the agenda. This is just one of small use cases for the summarization. Next, the during event phases. This is what I told you earlier, when the GDI can help with the answering questions, repeated questions, event-related questions. Maybe simple questions like where is the toilet, where is the hotel, and where is the how much is the ticket price and things like that. So this is like the example. We will give you an example demo later after this. Yeah, but this is the simple example. You can ask Judy like what is the essence of the event, what's the theme of the event, what's the name of the event, and things like this. Okay. Next thing is the after events. This is the post-event retrospective or evaluation that can be enhanced by utilizing GDI to analyze our user sentiment. This is one of the use case, which is sentiment analysis, right? Next. See, so after the event, we get feedbacks, right? Usually organizers have forums, feedbacks, or gather any kind of information from the user. So first thing first, we can analyze the sentiments by using LLMs. Just simply give the inputs, and then the set of prompts that, yeah, you can learn about prompt engineering. I think we have a lot of sessions talking about it. But yeah, we can give them a set of prompts or like specific prompts to do that. And then it will result in the sentiments and then the score, right? But not only that, we can ask them to summarize from all of the feedbacks, all of the sentiments, to make a clearer summary for the organizer. So if you can see here, what can you provide recommendation for improving the events? See, the GDI summarized that there's like overcrowding problem. So maybe next year we can use like a bigger venue, or maybe like better manage the queue, or spread out the agenda or everything else. Or yeah, give like a printed map or any other improvement. Okay, this will be very helpful for the organizer. And then the next thing, we will show you a demo about a demo about Azure AI. So.
Okay, so yeah, for the mini demo, it's just simply to highlight how GDI is going to interact with the event users, event attendees, right? Now, for the purpose of the time, I have been recording this previously to save time. So let us go through the journey of when the user are interacting with GDI, right? So firstly, Judy are introducing itself, right? Like, yeah, my name is Judy. So we ask, okay, we are in Pycon. What is Pycon exactly? So Judy provides an answer. Pycon is this event, okay. But okay, I'm just want to make sure whether I'm at the right Pycon or not, right? So I'm asking which Pycon are we currently at? So Judy is going to provide information. Yes, we are currently at Pycon APAC 2004, Indonesia. Okay. So maybe I'm now staying in the Pop Hotel Yogyakarta, for example, right? I want to also know how can I get to the venue before the event itself. So I want to ask Judy how to get there from my place, from my hotel itself. So we ask the Judy and Judy is going to try and collect for the information. Okay, then Judy answer, I'm glad that you're interested in attending, right? And get there, Judy is going to use the knowledge. And then Judy found that, okay, actually the Pycon APAC is happening at the UNU Yogyakarta. And how to get there from the Pop Hotel, Judy is going to provide set of alternatives of the mode of transportation to that, right? And then, okay, maybe this is just some, like maybe a bit outside of the context of the event itself, right? Like just how to get there. But now I want to ask Judy, like, because Pycon is a conference-based event, I surely want to attend some sessions based on my interest. So I can also ask Judy, like, could you recommend me some sessions that I should attend at this event itself, right? So Judy is going to also determine based on my activities, based on my interests, what sessions that I should attend. And Judy like provided some of the alternatives of the sessions that I should attend. And then, okay, maybe now I want to try to asking a little bit more general questions to Judy. Like, is Pycon event happening globally or is it only in Indonesia? So it's just simple general question. Yes, Pycon event are happening globally. Okay, then I want to know when is the next Pycon Indonesia is actually, right? So today we'll answer with, yeah, this is, I know we are at there. So when is the next one after that? We want to also know that, right? But when we ask her, Judy is that, oh, Judy is actually couldn't find that information, couldn't answer that. So it's not relevant to Judy. But when we ask, like, when is the next Pycon happening in the next year itself? Let's see if Judy can answer that. Okay, then Judy is provide the answer to that, right? So maybe that's just the mini demo. To sum up, I wanna also maybe a little bit like discuss with you guys like the key takeaways, especially in our experience itself, like our journey of building a framework, AI as a framework itself. So there's a couple of takeaways, and the main key takeaway is actually our AI framework is as smart as we designed them to be. So we all know that AI nowadays is super, super powerful, right? Virtually AI can do anything. But there's always going to be a trade-off, whether like either it's a performance, either it's a accuracy, either it's a relevancy, and so on and so forth. So we, as a framework itself, we want it to be like, we want to design it like it basically what it can do, because framework is basically for our own use. We let them be as smart as we design them to. And then firstly, how can we do that is we need to scope it to the specific business requirements or use cases that what we're trying to solve. So even before we are starting on building the framework or building the tools, we need to ask ourselves why. Like, why are we doing this? What are the problems that we're trying to solve, right? And then after that, we can have the scope of it. And then after that, after we scope it down, we need to also define clearly what is the context to better engineer the prompt. Because nowadays, by the end of the day, it's all about the prompt engineering that matters, right? We need to design such a prompt that, our solution itself can answer as accurately as possible, can provide the relevant answer, and so on and so forth, right? And then after that, based on the scope, we already know the scope, we need to provide the relevant essential information, because that is actually the essence of the ARG itself, right? Okay, and then this is something that maybe sometimes it got overlooked, especially us as engineers. So I want to emphasize over here is that spending more effort on the design phase itself, it actually goes a long way, So I believe that everyone in this room you guys are smart when it comes about executing, when building the tools, building the framework itself, it's easy for you guys. But, setting the intention on what we're trying to achieve and setting the goals, how scalable that we want our framework to be, that thing is actually could help in all the processes. Even when the engineers itself are working on this, by knowing the intention in the first place, they could also relate to it, right? So, okay, then I would like to design it to be like this by knowing the intention in the first place. And then this is last point, just a bit of a bonus point, because like the 3 points, the first 3 points are more into the like technical or practical side of things. But the last point is maybe a little bit to the product, to the end product itself. So we feel that setting the persona of the final product could help boost the relevancy with the user. So take example of the Ask Judy AI from the mini demo that we have just gone through. So we set the persona of the Ask Judy AI itself to position as someone who is an expert in the event. Right? So this someone needs to be knowledgeable. This someone also, we set the persona to be as friendly as possible. And this someone needs to be always try to provide a solution, right? So if you can see, like, but need to be focused on the event. Like, yeah, maybe if we talk about what is, like the other problems out there, it's not going to be relevant with that, because it's all about the event itself. But even like all the supporting information as well, like how do we get to the AI still able to provide that? And especially if the event itself, like what sessions I should attend, UDI is able to provide that, right? But when we ask that is something not relevant, that UDI is not going to be relevant. But even though, like the example is we ask UDI, when is the next event, Pycon event in Indonesia? She doesn't know, right? The UDI doesn't know. So UDI also tries to provide, okay, maybe you can go to the community itself to gather more information about that. So it still need to be helpful and so on and so forth. So yeah, that are the key takeaways. This is just a closing slides from us, guys. So just for information, Jupiter is hiring. So there are 4 positions available. If you are interested, you can scan the QR code. We do have a booth outside as well in the 2nd floor. You can't miss it. So do visit our booth, do converse around with us to discuss about anything. And yes, that's gonna be all from us, and thank you. Ada Q&A. Do we have time for Q&A? Okay, maybe opening up the floor for a question. If you guys have any questions.
Yes, thanks for sharing. Actually, I have question like just now, maybe how frequent actually the like the data set being updated, right? As you mentioned just now, like the event, the Python, even for the next year, right, will be announced later today. So do you get the information from like organizer or from the internet, or how is it? Yes, to update the again the knowledge base.
Okay. Interesting question, and thank you for that. So just to let me rephrase. Like the question itself is basically, how does what are the requirements that for us to train or retrain again our AI, right, to be able to retrieve the correct information? So basically, like from the example mentioned, the next Pycon event in Indonesia hasn't been announced, right? But that actually relevant to the second point. So based on the scope, the scope, we need still to provide the relevant essential information about it. So in this case, actually, maybe I can show you a bit, or maybe no need. So basically, in this case, we scope it down into event basis because we have a lot of events in our system, right? Event A, event B, event C. So for Pycon specifically, we feed them with the relevant information, which is from the Pycon website itself, and then from the python.org website, and some any other articles or some any other like data source itself. So what JudyAI is performing is actually not searching for the whole World Wide Web. It's basically like trying to retrieve the essential information from the scope that we define, but from also the provided information that we train them to be, so that it can always have a unique use cases on even different event. It's always going to behave differently based on the nature of the event itself. Any more questions?
Okay, thank you for the chance. I actually have two questions. One, does Judy AI support other languages? And second, you say that Judy AI is giving limited knowledge, have limited knowledge. Does Jublia have a security system or such that blocks when user try to bypass the limited knowledge that since I have heard that GPT got a lot of issues about that. Thank you.
Okay, thanks for the question. So for the first question,
So the first one is about language, right? So yeah, of course, Judy can answer in many different language. You mean like spoken language, right? Yes. So in default, we set it to follow the event language because we have event all around the world. So if the event was a Chinese event, so the default language will be Chinese. But if you ask the greeting message, if you notice, the greeting will be on Chinese. But if the user is using on the settings, maybe is using different language, maybe Indonesia, it will also answer in Indonesia. Because on the back end part, we translate everything of the questions and also the informations before we save it into the database. Yeah. And for the security thing, yes, of course, we implement those kind of things, and we are keep improving the security part of things, right? Because we are committed for in the security purpose, we have the ISO certifications also, and then we keep updating it every years, and we keep looking at it every years. We also have like pen tests going on randomly throughout the years also, and then we act based on it. Yeah.
maybe just to add on a little bit to the second question itself. So that also ties to the scope and the persona that we're trying to set. So we're not only setting the persona that you need to be position yourself as something like this for the Judai, but also we are setting the boundaries, like to what extent that you need to provide the information. So for example, if the user are asking, who am I? It's not relevant. So we already bypass that by setting certain boundaries inside the framework itself. Is there any other questions?
Okay, thank you for the time. I want to ask about how you manage evaluating your models to that the model is enough smart. You mentioned that we can design as we design. So how to evaluate them? So is it enough smart or not? I think.
Oh, really nice questions. Okay, so if you come to the yesterday session that talking about multimodal LLMs or multimodal RAG applications, the speaker said that we have the information that we fit, right? The FAQs, the summary, the agenda, and everything else, right? So it will be unique in a case by case or like event by event cases. So we fit different FAQ, different format, different data, and with those FAQ in mind, we kind of check how our AI, how Judy AI will give answer based on it, and also the sentiments, right? In sentiments cases, we have like examples. In supervised AI, you know that we have the training sample that we have the target, right? We can evaluate using that also. So in this case, like Judy AI, it's a LLM applications. The evaluations will be depend a lot on the use cases. Even in the same use cases, like the Ask Judy AI, our chatbot, it will be depend a lot on the FAQ itself. So there's no set rules, there's no set evaluation method that we use. But we look at the context itself, we look at the scope again, and we look at the event, how do we evaluate it based on the information provided. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Those were some great questions. Thank you again, Mr. Irfan and Mr. Aditya for answering the question and insightful talks. That was insightful talks. Please give a big round of applause. This concludes for our session for this class. We hope you found it insightful and continue to explore Python in your project. Have a great day, enjoy this session, and thank you everyone.
Hello.
Thank you.